Way too early predictions. It's always exciting. It's a hot take machine. Will this stuff ever come true? Those are the questions that are still to be answered. But what I do know is for sure is that I have 10 players, 5 from the National League and 5 from the American League, that are way too early MVP favorites, predictions, whatever you want to call it. You saw the title of the video. We're talking about players that are playing out of their minds right now and have put themselves as the early favorites in Major League Baseball for the MVP award. Now, chances are that most of these guys aren't going to end up there at the end of the year. There are some crazy names on this list, but at the same time, you have a good 20-game stretch to start the year. You're putting yourself in the driver's seat for the rest of the season. You're giving yourself a chance to legitimately be in that MVP conversation at the end of the year. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going through my 10 way too early MVP predictions in Major League Baseball for the 2021 season, 5 National League, 5 American League. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on it. It really does help support the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you haven't clicked that red subscribe button, click it. Join the team. What are you waiting for? Get in the comment section down below. Let me know who your way too early predictions for the MVP are for the American and National League. Drop me a follow on all my social media, as well as check out my podcast, the Mets Up Podcast. Link is in the description. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, YouGov. Guys, I've figured it out. I found a way to earn cash and gift cards just for sharing your opinion, and that's through using YouGov. You've seen them as a sponsor on the channel before, but let me tell you about why you need to start using YouGov. I mean, me mentioning free cash and gift cards probably should have grabbed your attention to begin with, but I'm still going to tell you a lot about YouGov so you know all the info. YouGov is a website where you take online surveys and earn rewards points that you can then turn into cash rewards and even gift cards. YouGov has polls about politics, public affairs, products, and brands. For example, right now they have surveys about COVID-19, about the vaccine, about unemployment, about climate change. There's a lot of variety of surveys for you to take, earn points, and get that cash. What's great about YouGov is that it's free to join, and as a member, you will earn points by filling out short surveys and answering questions on their website. Plus, you'll also earn bonus points for filling out your first survey, as well as recommending family and friends. So if you guys are interested in making free money and gift cards for sharing your opinion, click the link in my description down below to take you to YouGov, sign up today, and start earning that free cash. Thank you to YouGov for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's get it started off in the National League. We're gonna go through the top 5 here, and coming in at the number 5 spot, I've got Tyler Naquin of the Cincinnati Reds. I could have gone with Naquin, I could have gone with Castellanos. The Reds have a lot of options, but I think Naquin's gonna be my pick, and he just kind of has better numbers right now. So far through 12 games, 42 at-bats, Tyler Naquin is off to a scalding hot start. 6 homers, a double, 11 hits, 8 runs, 15 RBIs, 5 walks with 12 strikeouts. The average is a little bit low here at 262, which is why I have him towards the end of these top 5 MVP favorites right now. But a 354 on base with a 714 slugging gives him an OPS of 1068, and that puts him almost in the top 10 in Major League Baseball among qualified players. Tyler Naquin is playing at an absolutely insane pace right now for the Cincinnati Reds. One of the reasons why they're towards the top of the National League Central and competing for first place. It could have been his teammate Castellanos. It could have been a variety of other players, but right now I think Tyler Naquin at least deserves to be in the conversation of the way too early MVP favorites in the National League, because what he's doing so far in this young season is pretty remarkable. I got him at number 5. Coming in at the number 4 spot in the National League, I am shocked by this one. This guy is a rookie. He is having an incredible season for the Marlins right now. It's going to be Jazz Chisholm, second baseman, shortstop, whatever you want to call him. Jazz Chisholm is a way too early MVP candidate right now. Now again, pump the brakes, because do I think Jazz is going to end up winning the MVP or even finishing in the top 5? No, I just think as the season gets longer, his numbers are going to even out. But through the 13 games he's played thus far this season, 40 at-bats, 13 hits, 8 runs, 3 homers, 3 doubles, a triple, 6 RBIs, 9 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 325 average, 451 on base, 675 slugging, and 1126 OPS. He's stealing bases, playing good defense. He currently has a walk rate hovering around 18%. The strikeouts are 25%, but still, an ISO at 350, BABIP at 400, WOBA 469, WRC plus 199, and he has a 1.0 WAR, which is towards the top of the league. Jazz Chisholm just can't be ignored. It's an incredible 23-game stretch. Will he keep it up for a full 162? Most likely not. But Jazz Chisholm right now is performing like one of the top players in the National League and definitely deserves to be a part of the way too early MVP favorite conversation. He's just balling out, and he's a really exciting, fun young player to watch. One of the possible new faces of Major League Baseball, and definitely a face of the Miami Marlins for years and years to come. At the number 3 spot for the National League MVP way too early favorites, Los Angeles Dodgers, and it's not Cody Bellinger, it's not Mookie Betts, it's Justin Turner, the old man who signed a contract in free agency to re-sign with the team that he won the World Series with. Justin Turner, go figure. Red Turn, the hot corner over there, is playing out of his mind, and this is kind of just what Justin Turner does all the time. Whenever he is healthy and playing, he is hitting at an extremely high level, and that's what he's doing so far in the 15 games he's played this season. 15 games, games, 59 at-bats, 24 hits, 14 runs scored, 7 doubles, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, walking 7 times and striking out 14, a 407 average, 471 on base, 780 slugging, and a 1250 OPS. Oh my God, Justin Turner, you are doing some crazy stuff at the plate. Turner has always been a really strong hitter at the major league level, and we've seen him put together stretches of being elite. But right now, what he's doing through these first 15 games, granted it's about 10% of the season, you gotta look at it and you're going, he's at least got a great start on a lot of the other players. You start the season off hitting 400, chances are you're gonna finish the season with a 300 average to begin with, and his OPS is probably gonna be hovering right around that 1,000 range as long as he doesn't go into a crazy slump. He's been a huge part of the Dodgers' success. With a guy like Bellinger going down, they need someone to step up, and Turner has been doing it all season long. Definitely an MVP candidate as of right now. At number 2, we're switching it over to the pitching side to talk about one of my favorite players in baseball, the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, one of the best pitchers I've ever seen pitch, Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets. Wow, Jacob deGrom continues to do just crazy things. He's so good. He's made 3 appearances thus far, 3 starts, a 1-1 record. He actually got a win, which is crazy. He also has a loss, which is crazy because his ERA is .45. He's given up 1 earned run in 20 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs total, 2 home runs, struck out 35 batters, walking 3. Opponents are hitting 162 against him, and he has a whip of .70. But wait, there's more. deGrom currently has a K rate of 48.6%. Yes, 48.6% of the batters he faces strikes out. That is nuts. And he's only walking 4.2%. Again, nuts. A K to walk ratio of 44.4%. His numbers are just truly incredible. And he's leaving 89.3% of the runners that get on base. People aren't barreling up the ball. They're not hitting it very hard. You even look at his FIP. His FIP is 1.35, xERA 1.77, and he's just straight up the best pitcher in baseball right now. For every single pitch that he's throwing, he's getting a whiff rate of 20+%. That's not just on strikes. That is on pitches in general. He's doing crazy stuff. He struck out 9 batters in a row the other day. Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in baseball, and if he continues to pitch like this, he's going to get some serious MVP consideration. And then coming in at the number 1 spot in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. I know he just went down with an injury, and he's going to be out for a little bit of time, but Ronald Acuna Jr.'s numbers so far in this young season are disgustingly good. He's been the best player in baseball without a doubt. 16 games, 62 at-bats, 26 hits, 21 runs, 6 doubles, a triple, 7 homers, 16 RBIs, 9 walks to 10 strikeouts. We saw that last year. He was really starting to walk a little bit more, and we're seeing it translate again into 2021, which is huge for his game. He's always been able to hit and have that pop, but now he's starting to get the patience at the plate. He's scary. Oh yeah, and he's also stole 3 bases. A 419 average, 486 on base, 887 slugging, and a 1373 OPS. What? A WRC plus of 253, an xWOBA 516, WOBA 564, WAR of 1.6. I mean, just by far the largest in Major League Baseball. The K rate is down to a minuscule 13.9%. This is a guy who usually sits around 25%. He's doing crazy stuff. Ronald Acuna is incredible, and he's playing a pretty good outfield as well. As long as he stays healthy and comes back soon for the Braves, this is the clear and obvious favorite for the MVP in the National League right now. He is just the best player in baseball currently statistically in the entire game. So yeah, he's the way too early favorite for the MVP in the National League. I think that's pretty obvious if you've watched any sort of baseball this year. Now we're switching gears here, going to the American League, because of course we gotta show love to both sides. And how can I not get it started here at the number 5 spot with a guy who's been featured in what feels like all of my videos so far this year, Yermin Mercedes. Now yes, Yermin Mercedes is not gonna win the MVP, but for way too early MVP predictions, he's in the top 5. There's just no way around it. Yermin is mashing at the plate. He hasn't slowed down at all. 15 games, 57 at-bats, 23 hits, 7 runs, 4 doubles, 4 homers, 12 RBIs, walking 4 times, striking out 9, a 404 average, 443 on base, 684 slugging, and 1127 OPS. Yermin is just mashing. The thing that's going to hurt him, of course, is that he's a DH. He doesn't play the field, but you know, we did see him pitch the other day against the Red Sox. Of course, joking aside, Yermin is an offensive player. He is there to swing the bat and hit baseballs, and that's seriously all he has done this year. He is just mashing at the plate. He's not going to do it for the full year. Just like some of the guys we mentioned on the National League side, it's very, very unlikely. But right now, through these first 15 games, he is one of the best hitters statistically in Major League Baseball, and you just can't ignore it. Yermin Mercedes, number 5 for way too early MVP favorites. Coming in at the number 4 spot, this is a guy I'm so happy to see doing well, Vlad Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm happy for 2 reasons. 1, I love Vlad Jr. Met him last year at spring training, super nice guy, and he's just a fun player to watch. And 2, I invested heavily in his PSA cards this year. I'm making some money on those as long as he keeps playing this good. Vlad Jr. in 16 games, this is finally the Vlad Jr. we were expecting to see when he was the number 1 overall prospect. 16 games, 54 at-bats, 21 hits, 10 runs, 3 doubles, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and what's really awesome about Vlad Jr. this year, 11 walks to 11 strikeouts. He's even stolen a base. 389 average, 507 on base, disgusting, 667 slugging, and 1174 OPS. I mean, Vlad Jr., that is the player we had been waiting for. That is the player that everyone was hyping up. Clearly losing all that weight this offseason was huge for him. It has completely changed his game around into being that elite offensive player we thought he would be, and he's walking as much as he strikes out. Vlad Jr. doesn't do that. He walked a decent amount, but he's really become disciplined at the plate this year. A WRC plus of 232. He's just so good. Vlad Jr., way too early MVP candidate, coming in at number 4. Now, I can't believe I'm doing this, but coming in at number 3, it's Mike Trout. He's not even in the top 2 right now, but still, Mike Trout, I mean, he's just having an unbelievable year. It's not the best year ever of Mike Trout, not the best start to his career, but it's still so good, and he comes in at number 3. So far through 14 games, and the Angels are playing really well, Mike Trout's a big part of it. 14 games, 48 at-bats, 17 hits, 12 runs, 4 doubles, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, 13 walks, 19 strikeouts. The strikeouts are a little bit high, but with Mike Trout's walking numbers and just the offensive production, you don't care. 354 average, 492 on base, 688 slugging, 1179 OPS. Mike Trout's doing Mike Trout things. He's just so good. He steps up to the plate. He's the best player in baseball. There's no doubt in my mind, and there shouldn't be a doubt in yours too. You gotta still include him in the way too early MVP candidates video because no matter what he was doing, he would still make it. But he's also having a great start to the year, which is why he comes in at the number 3 spot. Crazy to think that there's 2 players in the American League having a better year thus far than him, but there are, and these players are having pretty sick starts to the year. Mike Trout, though, probably the most likely player to win the MVP, though, out of everybody on this list. So coming in at number 2 technically isn't a player that qualifies, but through 9 games, I just can't ignore it. Yes, he's been a little injured. Yes, he has a hamstring strain, and yes, the Twins have some COVID issues, but I gotta put Byron Buxton on this list. What Byron Buxton has done in 9 games is silly. It's silly. In 9 games, 32 at-bats, 15 homers, 8 runs, 5 doubles, 5 homers, 9 RBIs, walking twice, striking out 6, and stealing 1 base, a 469 average, 528 on base, 1094 OPS, 1094 slugging, and a 1622 OPS. Byron Buxton, I don't care how few games he's played, he's going to be a very good player. Another guy who was a highly touted prospect. We're starting to see him break out a little bit more the last few years, but this is the year where Byron Buxton is hitting for the power, hitting for average, getting on base, and playing that elite defense. This is the player that everybody's been waiting for. He continues to play like this, he's going to get paid big time in free agency in a couple years. Byron Buxton's going crazy. He's a 5-tool athlete, and he's finally showing it. I just want to see him come back healthy from that hamstring strain, and then once the Twins get back on the road after this COVID protocol break, he's going to be back and ready to go, and he's just going to be playing at an MVP level. To think that there are people on Twitter who don't think that this guy can be an MVP candidate, you're crazy, you're stupid, you're wrong. He is one of the most talented players in Major League Baseball, and he showed us that so far in 2021. Don't think of the Byron Buxton from 4 years ago. That's not him. That was young Byron Buxton. That wasn't the polished Byron Buxton. But now we're starting to see him reach his prime, and he is an absolute threat. Buxton's real good. And then coming in at the number 1 spot for AL way too early MVP predictions, JD Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. Oh man, JD seriously missed that instant replay, being able to use footage in the dugouts during the game to learn about pitchers. He needed that because last year he didn't get it with the COVID season and his numbers struggled. This year it's back, and oh my gosh, he's incredible. 15 games, 16 at-bats, 23 hits, 15 runs, 7 doubles, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, walking 6 times, striking out 13, hitting .383 with a 439 on base, 800 slugging, and a 1239 OPS. Yes, he doesn't play the field. I mean, he's getting some more time out there, but he's a DH, let's be honest. But at the plate, he's just one of the most talented hitters in the game. Clearly, the footage thing and the iPads had an impact on him in 2020, but they're back for this year, and he is making the most of it. He is mashing. I've said in years past before, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. Not one of the best players, because of course, he doesn't have a well-rounded game like that, but at the plate, he is a guy I never want to face. He's got power to all fields, hits for high average, has a great eye at the plate, and good discipline. When things are clicking for him, he's scary good, and he's a huge reason why the Red Sox are currently in first place in the American League East. So yes, he doesn't have the glove, and he doesn't run the bases well, but JD Martinez's impact that he's making at the plate is literally carrying the Boston Red Sox into first place in one of the toughest divisions in baseball, and he has the 3rd highest OPS in baseball among qualified players. JD Martinez, easy choice as the number 1 way too early favorite MVP in the American League. So those are the 10 way too early MVP predictions, favorites, whatever you want to call them. 5 National League, 5 American League. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Who do you think are the favorites right now? Make sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed today's video. It really does help support the channel, as well as subscribe if you have not yet done so. Drop me a follow on all my social media, check out the podcast, and make sure to check out today's sponsor, YouGov. Links, as always, is in the description. That's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.